Good afternoon and welcome to a sunny but windy O'Connor enclosed for this live women's NPL match between Canberra Olympic and Woden Weston FC. I'm Russ Gibbs and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there live watching the game on Bar TV Sports. Joining me in the commentary box here this afternoon is Grace Marr for her debut on Bar TV. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited.
Well, it's your team, Canberra Olympic, we're watching this afternoon. I'm not putting smoke into you, but 3 games that you played this season, you scored in all of them. Since you've been injured, they haven't won a game.
Well, yeah, look, come across some tough opposition. That last game that I played in, we did lose as well against Belconnen, so I think it's, scoring a couple of goals helped us through the wins for the early games, but definitely think there's some more promise coming in and some other people stepping up to score.
And we'll see Meg McLaughlin making her debut this afternoon, another former Canberra United player. And what do you think she'll bring to this Canberra Olympic side? I
think a bit of experience up front and another strike force that can finish. I think that's something we've been missing. We've got a young team up front, and when you have young players, they're really looking for that experience to help them link up and put that final pass through or finish on goal. And I think Meg's going to add that and add a lot of physicality and threat in behind.
It's an interesting game this afternoon because we're looking at 2 teams that are sitting on the fringes of the 4 at the moment. One result from yesterday, Canberra United Academy beat Gungahlin 3-1. That puts them up comfortably into 3rd place. But Woden Weston start the game in 5th on 7 points, Canberra Olympic in 6th on 6 points. So a win today for either side really puts some push towards that top 4.
Yeah, definitely, and keeping in mind both earlier in the season, Canberra Olympic and Woden had that fixture postponed. So a win here and then a win against another win against them, especially for Olympic, would really boost our finals hopes. And yeah, it'd be a great game.
Well, you're the top scorer for Canberra Olympic with 6 goals this season. You got 3 in the first one, a couple in the second, and that one against Belconnen. As we mentioned, since then, defeats to Gungahlin, Monaro Panthers and Canberra FC. Disappointing to come out on the wrong end on a couple of those results.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was some real promise. Canberra FC and other games as well have showed us up in the first 10 minutes. Perhaps we've been switched off a little bit, and then we've really come into the game and made it a really good contest. So I think tidying up those areas will help start seeing us in the end of the game come on with the win rather than a narrow loss, and towards the back end of the season those points are going to be crucial for us.
For Woden Weston FC, as I said, they've won a few games as well this season. They've beaten Tuggeranong United and Monaro Panthers. They drew with Gungahlin. They were heavily beaten last time out there. They lost 8-2 to the Canberra United Academy, which would have been a bit of a setback for them, but perhaps not surprising.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think each team have qualities in different areas of the park. Canberra United Academy are a very technical team, and sometimes they'll lose to a physically dominant team but dominate a team that perhaps isn't so physical or technical or game aware. And I think this season it's already shown the results that one team can thrash one team and then the next time they'll lose to a team that another team beat, and so it's good that the depth in the league's grown, and who knows what will happen today.
2 other matches this afternoon. Canberra FC play Monaro Panthers and Tuggeranong United play Belconnen United. What do you think of those 2? Who's going to come out on top in them?
Look, you'd have to think the favourites are Canberra FC and Belconnen. We both reversed Monaro now and Tuggeranong, who I believe played last week and battled it out. But I think you're starting to see the experience in those more developed and older, mature teams come through now mid-season. I think it'd be great for an upset for Canberra Olympics' sake, but I think Canberra FC and Belconnen should carry out pretty comfortable winners there.
Well, that's Woden Weston FC in the black and red stripes that you've got on your screen, and just coming onto the field now are Canberra Olympic in their blue shirts and blue socks and pink socks today. Is there any reason behind the pink socks?
Yes, there is a reason, I believe. It has slipped my mind what exactly I was told. But no, the pink socks, a lovely little touch to the blue kit. But I'll have to double check with that one.
You can't miss the players with those socks on, can you?
No.
Anyway, looking at the two sides, we're going to start with Canberra Olympic as the home team. Gabby O'Brien will start in goal. They have a back four: Victoria Jameson, Sandra Hill, Selena Vecchi and Lily Dawson playing in the back four today. Midfield three of Sally Rojan, Grace Field and Alexia Fauna just in front of them. And the front three: Grace Bassasilk, Emma Gow and Meg McLaughlin. Interesting to see Lily Dawson playing in a left-back role. Last time I've seen her twice this season, she's been further forward.
Yeah, I think the take for this week was we wanted to get a little bit more experience up top, and obviously with Meg coming into the side, she's very strong up front, and we want to use that maturity that she has and experience. And Lily is young, fit, and she'll work her way up and down that sideline. So I think we're looking at having a bit more experience up front so we can get the finish. And Lily will do a great job covering the defence, but also getting forward for us.
I said left back, I meant right back. She's playing right back. Jameson is playing left back. Woden Weston FC, they have Harriet G in goal. Then back three of Alex Nankara, Sarah Whitfield and Bridget Plummer. Five in midfield with Isabella D'Amico and Jemima Miller Carlton Holding. Cassia McGlashan, Alison Caruso and Selena Guy in front of those. Up front, Alex McKenzie and Anna Vanderbroek. Looks like lots of pace in that side.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the Woden Western players play, but I'm also very unknown to some, so it'll be interesting to see how the game unfolds. But Canberra Olympic have equally quick backline, so I think it'll be a really good matchup, and it'll be a battle of who's the smartest.
Yeah, and Dawson have a work cut out against Cassie McGlashan today, playing on that left-hand side, which we think she will. 5 goals for her already this season, burst onto the scene, and she's done a good job.
Yeah, it'll be a really great matchup. It'll be really interesting to see. Obviously, she's carries some experience in how she comes up against Lily, who's one of the youngest players in the squad, and usually those ones end up coming quite physical battles, so it'll be really good to see.
Olympic don't normally lack for goals, and neither do Woden Western, so we're expecting a fair few today. Looking at the substitutes bench, Woden Western have named 4: Kath Conroy, Sarah Crittenden, Geraldine Longo and Lotta Rapp. Canberra Olympic, interestingly, have named 2 goalkeepers amongst their substitutes: Miriam McLaren and Alina Haradimos. The other 3, Vanessa Ryan, Shaquille Chong and Kirsten Hurt. So plenty of options on the bench for both teams.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good to see that they have both teams had the depth, and if they get caught upon into the game, can possibly change the game if it's tight. And let's hope that it doesn't come down to that, but it's really good to see.
Well, we're waiting on our match officials. Nathan Shakespeare is the referee, Lawrence Morris and Oscar Enright are the 2 assistants. We are running a bit late for kickoff. I'm not sure what they're doing in the changing room. They were on the match beforehand, weren't they? Nathan was on the line, and they're probably just changing their shirt or something like that.
Having their rotation and their drink break, maybe getting a gyros before the game. But
from the canteen, it's good down here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's a Sunday. We've had a big home run of games, and so it's been good for me. Not being able to play, but I still get my weekly gyros. So.
Not too many though, because you need to get fit.
No, just my lunch. But I'm still working hard off the field. So.
Well, we've got a bit of time. Grace, tell us a little bit about what happened. You had a bit of compartment syndrome that caused you a bit of issues?
Yeah, so I was struggling a little bit with compartment syndrome for the last 18 months. Obviously not wanting to stop and then being a little busy with Young Matildas and Canberra United. Didn't really get the chance to have a proper look at it or address the issue, and so this season, as much as I would love to have kept on playing with the team for the whole season, I had to address the issue and went forward with some testing to find out that I was positive to compartment syndrome, and so it was either a choice of stop playing at an elite level or have the surgery and have a couple months off. So nearly 4 weeks into it now, back running soon, so all is well.
I think everyone that's seen you play thinks you made the right decision there. It's been an incredible couple of years for you, bursting onto the scene there with Canberra United and the Young Matildas as well. Has it been a bit of a blur, or have you had time to take stock and look back at what you've achieved?
I think I've been fortunate enough to have a little bit of downtime between all the highs, but it has felt like a big roller coaster that's been building up, and maybe the injury and the time off has been the little bit of calming down and taking it all in, because it has been a bit of a roller coaster, and I think it's really good I was able to have a little holiday after the Canberra United season before I went for surgery, and just to get a little reset button, and hopefully when I come back I'll be ready to go and back on the up.
Speaking of the Canberra United season, it was a bit of a roller coaster for you guys as well, some ups and some downs. What was the takeout after that from everybody involved? Because it was a really young side this year.
Yeah, so obviously there was a big change in personnel starting from the coaching staff to our players, and as much as we would have loved to keep every player that was helped us in many years being successful, making the finals, there was a time when we needed a bit of a reset and perhaps a new look, and I think we didn't have the greatest of seasons, but I think it's only up from here and building off to be a more experienced side this year.
Well, there's your match officials. They've decided that'll come out. Maybe they had a bit of a break, and you say, helping themselves to something from the canteen. Only 10 minutes late, lads.
Yeah. Usually it's them rushing us to finish the warm-up, so how it's all turned.
Absolutely, it has indeed. So we're going to get ready for kickoff, and heart-ruling head here. What are you going to say? Who's going to win this one, Grace?
Well, I'm going to stick with my colours and go 3-1 to Olympic.
3-1, that's very specific. And debut goal for Meg?
Yeah, well, she came on last half of her starting debut. I'd love to see a little hat-trick, maybe some halfway shots with this wind. Always good, but I also call a goal for Grace Bassett today.
Okay, and that wind could play some issues today, can it? It is swirling around a bit out there. It doesn't really seem to be coming from any one direction at the moment either.
Yeah, no, I think wind's a massive factor in these games, and it's how you take advantage of it and also not let it affect you when you're off the ball. Ball can carry, the carry or hold up depending on obviously which way it's going, and I think being smart about it is the best way to counteract that factor of the wind.
Well, I'd say, if anyway, it's probably blown right to left, which is why Woden, I think, have taken the choice to play with it at their back in the first half. Or is it, into it, in the first half.
Yeah.
So they obviously have turned everybody round. And we'll wait and see what occurs in this one. Looking forward to this. Quick look ahead to next week. Canberra Olympic home to Tuggeranong United in round 9, and Woden Weston go to the Canberra United Academy, so a couple of toughies there as well, especially for Olympic. Tuggeranong haven't picked up a point yet, but that's obviously, sometimes that's the most dangerous games.
Yeah, 100%. We saw that with Monero Panthers. They picked up their first win against us, and like I said, in the league, the depth has changed, and each team seems to be having their strengths and weaknesses, which work on given days, and Tuggeranong got great coaching staff out there and some Canberra Academy players, so yeah, it'll be a good game.
And before we kick off, how frustrating is it to be stood here and not out there?
Very frustrating, but I'll try my best to keep busy, and yeah, hopefully I don't say too much on the mic.
Try not to cheer too loudly if you score.
Yeah.
Canberra Olympic then in the blue shirts, ready to get us underway. Meg McLaughlin over the ball in the centre circle, and we are off and running in this match at O'Connor Enclosed, only 10 minutes late or so. Apologies to everybody if you've cut short your Mother's Day lunch or whatever you were doing. It's Jamieson to field. First touch for Fauna. Looks to play it down the line, and it's picked off. There's a space here straight away for Vandenbroek, and she's got a runner ahead of her, head down and heading towards goal there, and tries her luck. And a positive start for Woden Weston. Yeah,
you can see Olympic got caught a little bit off guard there with a cheap turnover, and Woden were looking to capitalise, maybe just either a smoother pass or a better shot could have seen them punish Olympic.
Well, Anna Vandenbroek was head down there, wasn't she? She had runners ahead of her.
Yeah, eyes for goal, which isn't a bad thing, but obviously you'd hope for the shot to be on target.
Looks like they've switched their formation a little bit, Woden, and they've sent McGlashan into that forward role. Mackenzie's dropped onto the left-hand side. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see whether that was a decision to counteract perhaps Olympic, or whether they thought that was a strength they could exploit in the game. But I think it'll be a good battle to see that the numbers are a bit... there's a lot of numbers in the midfield for Woden today, and not so much in the backline, and see how the teams exploit that.
Well, Vandenbroek played it off Jameson, gives her team a throw, and right in front of us here in this commentary position. We're quite close to the field here.
Yeah, it's good. I've never actually been at this viewpoint before, so it's interesting.
You could take a throw from here, Grace. You might get involved.
Yeah.
Well, Selena Guy is going to take this for Woden, looking for the runner ahead, who's McGlashan, covering up at the back comfortably is Vecchi. And Olympic will bring this away. Those pink socks certainly stand out.
Yeah, they do. I used to wear, back in my Madura junior playing days, pink socks to train in, so it's a nice little childhood memory for me.
Taking you back.
Yeah.
There's Vanderbroek, and she's going to get herself a free kick. Just nudged that one ahead of Jamieson, who swung a leg at it. First opportunity from a set piece for Woden Weston. Alison Caruso is probably their tallest player. She's taken up position just on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, it'll be good match-up, I think, with the set pieces today. We've got some tall timber in both teams and girls that will attack the ball in the air.
Swung in and out came Gabby O'Brien, and she did well there because that sun was in her eyes as well. Had it over the top of this main stand here at O'Connor. Dawson robbed of it by Mackenzie and tries to win it back and does well in the end to win a throw for her side.
Yeah, it should be a good battle out there. Two young girls that fit and fierce, so we'll be interesting to see how that one unfolds.
Good early signs for Woden though. They've had a bit of pressure. Like I say, this sun is causing Gabby O'Brien a bit of problems. I wonder if she'll call for a cap at some stage.
Yeah, interesting. It's always a factor you forget, that goalkeepers, how important it is that they're able to see the ball before they catch it.
Does tend to help, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Being able to see.
You know, in the midfield you're able to just turn your body, but not so much in goals.
Caruso's ball looking for McGlashan. She's got it back. Feeds it wide to Vanderbroek, who's had plenty of touches in the opening stages. Nice little back heel. Swung into the area by D'Amico. It's going to break for Caruso, and that's a good piece of defending in the end. Shooting chance perhaps from distance. It's hoiked goalwards by Miller Carton, and it was just off target. I think Diego Mudawa will be pretty happy with what he's seen so far in the opening stages, opening 5 minutes or so from his side.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy. I think there's only been that one instance from kickoff that the Olympics been in the attacking half. So, you know, chances are if they can keep Olympic in the defensive half, the goals will come. But, you know, as the game starts to open up, they've got to be careful of that counter-attack and the spacing behind.
Dawson feeds it up the line. That one's helped on its way to McLaughlin. And she goes down under the challenge. I think stumbled over her own feet there, unfortunately. And Woden will try to get out from their own defensive zone. Dawson. Olympic happy to keep possession. The first time they really had the ball. Here's Rojan. Back to Hill. That's a good ball down the line. Looking for a runner. McLaughlin has it on the edge of the box. Methodically making their way forward, but Woden get rid of it. And Caruso nods it into the path of McGlashan. She's got a runner on this near side who's Vanderbroek, who's completely unmarked if she can find her. That's a good foot in defensively by Selina Vecchi.
Yeah, very important touch. The Olympic got caught out there. It was only their back three and then Lily recovering to cover. And if they keep that up, Woden are going to capitalise on the chances on the counter.
Sandra Hill. How much do you miss Beck Keating in these situations, Grace?
Oh, massively. The maturity and the experience that she brings to the team as a captain especially is fantastic for the team, and she's a real backbone of the squad. But I believe she's arrived back in Australia from a holiday in Thailand, so hopefully from next week she'll be back and ready to go.
Vandenbroek switching wings, looking to cause issues again. Off she goes. Bright start from Anna Vandenbroek, slides it into the area, defensively cleared halfway away. Shot comes in, but there's no power on it, but it might be an opportunity here. It's hit the post. Real chance there from Gaia.
Inches away, yeah. It was really good. She almost had the second chance if it didn't come off the post so hard.
They've given it away again, Olympic. And Woden Weston putting the pressure on Gaia. Finds D'Amico. Back to Gaia again. They're targeting this channel in the first half. Here's McGlashan. It's a good piece of defending in the end, but the turnover once more. Whitfield was in there. And Rojan wins it back. Bassa Silk dancing on the ball in the middle. Now Jamieson, skipper for the day. They've given her a torrid time in this first half. They've targeted her wing, haven't they, down this
definitely.
first 5 minutes or so?
She's one of the fittest and fastest in the team, but I don't know, for 90 minutes, I don't know many players that could keep that intensity up.
Here she is, setting it forward. Nice dummy from field, creates a bit of space for herself, slides the ball through, looks for McLaughlin, but out comes Harriet G.
Yeah, right idea and positive play. Just Meg McLaughlin's on the not quite goal side there, so she's going to have to do a little bit more work to get onto the end of that ball.
Gaia tackled by Field, kept in play by Fauna. Field brings that composure to the middle of the park.
Yeah, Gracefield and Sally are both fantastic with their feet, and it's been a great addition to Olympic to control that midfield.
Rojan looking for the runner, and it is Field, and the flag stays down. Gracefield into the area, looked to find McLaughlin running, and perhaps could have put her head down and gone for goal herself there.
Yeah, hesitant, wanted to use the outside of the right rather than the left, but they picked up the free kick.
Well, this is 35 metres or goal from far from goal. You'd fancy this one?
With the wind, 100%. But unfortunately, I don't think. Oh, Sandra actually might have a shot here from this distance.
Well, Hill's lining it up. Not much movement in front of her, so it looks like she might have a bash from here.
Yeah, with the wind, it should carry as long as she can get a bit of direction on it.
And Harriet G's not the tallest of goalkeepers.
No.
So Hill, will she try her luck from distance? She does. Fires one in, and it flashes just wide of goal. Plenty of pace on it, not quite the direction it needed, but ambitious.
Yeah, no, worth a shot, especially with that wind. It's worth using it, taking advantage of it in this first half.
Well, Woden, that's the first time we've seen them on the back foot. A couple of half chances for Olympic in the space of a minute or so. And there might be it again here. That's given away to McLaughlin. It's going to fall for Field on the edge of the penalty area. Thought about the shot for a minute. Swings it onto that right foot. And she's snuffed out, and Gaia can bring it away to Vandenbroek. The run ahead is a chase for McGlashan, and across comes Vecchi, and that's a good battle.
Yeah, it is. Looks like they're matching for pace, so it'll be another good battle on the field.
Once again, it's this right-hand channel for Woden's right-hand side, where Jameson, as you said, likes to get forward, and they've caught her out a couple of times.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be that pattern of the right-footed players wanting to play it out wide, giving our left-handed players a bit of a work, but hopefully as the game goes on and the players start to tire, they start to figure out that the energy and the legs are on the other side.
Gaia with the throw, helped on its way by McGlashan, and Hill will clear. Sends it looking for a runner, and it's a good ball in the end, and Fauna's got her head down and legs pumping, looking to get on the end of this one. She gets there, beats a marker as well, looks to find the support runner, which was Bassasilk, is going to fall for Rojan, who drives off a distance. Sally Rojan for an absolute screamer into the top corner. It fell onto the right foot, and she has smashed that home. No chance for Harriet G, and Olympic take the lead.
Yeah, you definitely won't see too many of those from Sally. She always tends to not want to shoot, so it was a great finish from her, but it was also a great build-up play. You know, Woden got really caught out there on their right-hand side. Big gap in the middle, and it was a simple ball through, and then plays running forward. Great goal.
How nonchalant was she when she scored there? Just, I've done that before.
Yeah, I know.
Turns around.
Not very fazed by anything.
As soon as it left the boot, it always had a chance, and it flashed into the top corner of the goal. A great finish. And there's a little bit of an assist from the wind as well, but take nothing away from the technique.
Yeah, no, it was a great finish, and as you said, goalie had no chance.
Well, what have Woden got in response? McGlashan looking to challenge Hill, who does well. Good defender, Sandra Hill, for a youngster.
Yeah,
she's very composed.
Player. You know, been playing with her through a lot of my youth career. I suppose still in the youth career, but great player, really fit and athletic, and she's just come back from the US, so the stint over there at Grand Canyon University, so picked up some experience over there. It's a great addition to the Olympic side.
That'd be your pre-youth career.
Yeah, that's true.
In the Pee-wees.
My academy years now.
Academy years?
Yeah, too young now. Too old now.
Sounds like a chapter in your forthcoming autobiography, Grace.
Yeah.
Grace Marr, My Academy Years.
Chapter 1.
Here's Gaia. Nice turn in the middle of the park, creating a bit of space for herself. Might fancy a shot from here. She did, but didn't catch hold of it. Good positive work, though, from Selena Gaia.
Yeah, it was a great turn, opened up space, and the Olympic backline were too far to shut it down, so the shot was the right idea, just didn't come off the boot. 12
minutes gone here live on Bar TV Sports. You're watching Canberra Olympic versus Woden Weston FC from O'Connor. It's 1-0 to Olympic. A cracking goal from Sally Rojan after 10 minutes. Divides the two teams at the moment. And credit we should give to Alexia Fauna for making the effort to chase that ball down in the first instance and win it.
Yeah, she did excellent. She's not the quickest of players, but she's a very skillful player.
Vandenbroek's in on goal here. Anna Vandenbroek, and she flashes a shot just wide as well. Another warning sign, and she has been a live wire in this opening quarter of an hour, Anna Vandenbroek.
Yeah, she's really making Jamison work for it, and just then got that shot on goal that I believe skimmed the post. So, centimetre to the right, and that was in.
With the right foot, it was always going to fade away from goal, wasn't it? She couldn't wrap it round with the left. But another chance for Woden Weston. And Eddie Senatori might be a little bit concerned with how easily they're getting in at the moment.
Yeah, I think, it'll be something he'll address at half-time, but I think for Olympic, things are coming. McLaughlin
off to the races as well, looking to use her pace. She gets in. McLaughlin looked for the early chip. Wasn't a bad idea.
No, right idea on her favoured left foot, so probably would have taken the same option. It was a couple centimetres higher, and that might have slipped through the goalie's hands.
She was chased back there by Bridget Plummer, who's one of two Woden Western players. Isabella D'Amico, the other one, who are closing in on 200 Premier League games for Woden Western, which is quite a feat. That one's right up into the commentary box.
I really thought I was going to be in on the action.
Yeah, 200 Premier League games, Grace. That's good, isn't it?
Wow, that's incredible. 50 to 100 in any league is great, but let alone 200 for the one club. It's really awesome to see the commitment to a single club, and it's great for women's football in Canberra.
When you consider they play anywhere between 18 to 21 games a season, that's a lot of matches and that's a lot of seasons.
Yeah, and Izzy D'Amico's only 18 or 19 as well, so it just really shows that a Canberra product that's kept going and staying loyal to a club. It's good to see.
Rojan flicks that forward, the goal scorer. Whitfield's going to pick up the loose ball. Comes inside and swings a ball into the danger area. Hill reads it though and brings it away. Looking for Gow to slide that one forward. Emma Gow playing in a wider position than we've seen her this season. She's usually the target through the middle.
Yeah, they've obviously pushed her wide. To let Meg play more of that out-and-out striker, but she'll still do really well getting up and down on the flanks.
And I guess they can interchange as well if they need to. McLaughlin can peel away to that side and Gow can come into the space she creates.
Yeah, definitely, and Gow's really good at her feet and is also good at picking balls to play through to McLaughlin, so it should be a good combination.
That one's clipped forward by Bassasilk, and the chase is on. Plummer's back there.
Yeah, smart defending, using the body to allow the keeper to pick it up.
Caruso tried to flick it on, but the bounce beat it. Fauna gets it under control. Field's looking for options. A nice ball, but good foot in on Caruso. And that was pushed forward by D'Amico. Battle in the middle of the park here between Mackenzie and Vecchi. And here come Woden Weston, and that flag will go up against Vandenbroek. It's just time to run too early.
Yeah, I think Olympic did well not to drop, knowing that the ball hadn't been played yet. It's hard for the strikers once you start going forward. If you go back to stay on the side, you lose the momentum. So, yeah, just a bit mistimed there.
Very open game, though. I don't think we've seen the end of the scoring so far.
No, definitely not.
Plummer wins the header. He reaches Rojan in the centre circle there. And there's another loose pass, and Hill needs to cover. There's that composure we're talking about. Gives O'Brien a touch. Struggled with her kicking in this first half as Gabby O'Brien into the wind.
Yeah, definitely. It was pretty poor clearance, and especially when you've had the possession, you're often out of position as a goalie, and so you've got to be really cautious of the shot coming straight back to you.
McLaughlin couldn't get that under control, and it's fallen nicely for Gaia. Helped on its way looking for McGlashan, but Vecchi clears. Nancaro's the challenger on McLaughlin on this occasion. And off go Olympic once more. It breaks for Fauna. Under pressure from Whitfield. Field to Rojan, and now a bit of space out wide. Gow first time flicks it into the penalty. A good return ball looking for field, and defensively Bridget Plummer did very well to come across and read that one.
Yeah, good build-up play, and it was just gutsy defending, putting your body on the line. Otherwise, I think Grace would have loved to put a high foot up there and maybe get a shot on goal.
Good option from Emma Gow first time to clip that ball over the top.
Yeah, you know, keeps the momentum going and the tempo of the game.
Here she is again. She's got in. The flag stayed down. Whips it into the penalty area. Woden needs to be careful here. Whitfield gets it away as far as Caruso. Fieldhouse are under pressure. Mackenzie. And Dawson does a good job defensively in the attacking third.
Yeah, it's good to see Lily getting nice and high and applying that high pressure rather than sitting off, especially at such a young age. You know, you think fullbacks defend and wingers attack, but it's good to see her getting in on the action.
How old is she?
Lily would just turn 17 last week, so...
It's another youngster off the Olympic ranks.
Yeah, she did really well last season, was the player of the season, and she's been rewarded this year with a bit more of an experienced squad, but still getting minutes, so it's really good to see.
Yeah, so we've seen her a couple of times this season. She looked very impressive in a forward role. That was a shot from field a moment ago that didn't really test Harriet G. Van der Broek again heavily involved right in front of us. Remember a few seasons ago she was banging in the goals for Canberra FC in the lower grades.
Yeah, it's good to see, you know, sometimes that's what's required, a move of clubs to see some time in the higher grades, and it's clearly paying dividends as she's doing really well at Woden and continuing to run a goal.
There's a great turn by Baza Silk, and the pass was looking for field. A bit of a mix-up in defence here by Woden, and McLaughlin looking to profit. And in the end, they get rid of it to Mackenzie, who skips away from one challenge, cuts inside a second, looking for runners again. It's a high line from Olympic, and Vecchi comes in and steals it. What a beautiful turn from Bassa Silk, though, in the middle of the park to create that space in the first instance.
Her signature turn, I remember she's been doing that since her under 10 days when we used to play at Madura together, so it still works a treat.
Jamison had another little nibble there at Van der Broek, who pointed out to the officials that was the second one. I'm sure any more and she'll be possibly in the book. Whitfield will take the free kick. Left-footed, good one into the area. The runner in there is a chance for McGlashan, I think that is, and it's broken. Again, it was good goalkeeping from O'Brien to come out and deny her.
Yeah, brave goalkeeping. Probably nearly could have claimed it herself, but it's all right. Still, ball didn't end up in the back of the net. Defensively
there, though, Olympic were asleep, and here come Woden Weston again. Van den Broek on this right-hand side. Rojan, though, is in the way. And she calmly looks to bring it away, but she's giving it away to Van den Broek as well, who's off against Jamison again. Jamison this time does really well. Whitfield into the area. Caruso's there. Used her strength well to find Gaia. Now space for the cross for Whitfield. Drops towards the edge of the box, and Dawson comes to get rid. And here goes McLaughlin up against Plummer once more. And Nankaro intercepts. So Victoria Jamieson has been put on the back foot quite a lot in this first instance. She'll be sick of the sight of Anna Van der Broek by half time.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're both getting a real workout, and it'll be interesting to see how the battle goes into the 90 minutes and who's going to come out on top.
Well, they're giving as good as they've got, both of them at the moment. I think Van der Broek had the best of it early on, and Jamieson in the last couple of moments has won a few challenges and coming to terms with the problems that she's causing. Here's Rojan. Looking to clip the ball in. Space in the area here for Bassa Silk, perhaps. Can she get there? Looked to square it off. Couldn't quite wrap her foot around it.
Yeah, perhaps if she chose to pull that back, it could have almost been a penalty. Two Woden players coming in from behind, but when you get the shot off, then got to play that advantage.
Yeah, that little turn she did in the middle of the park, if she tried that again, it would have been interesting.
Yeah, definitely, or even have won the corner.
Very good futsal player, Grace Bassa Silk. A lot of that skill coming from that form of the game.
Yeah, definitely. She's been throughout all the ACT futsal and the boomerangs, and it really shows in her football type ball control.
Dawson going to slide it infield. McLaughlin was there, but Nankaro will clear. You can just see the sheer presence of Meg McLaughlin causes issues. Bridget Plummer's defended her quite well at the moment, but just her presence is causing problems. Yeah,
she's quick and she's physical, and she does make really good runs and will chase after anything, and it always means that your back line are under pressure, and you never know what can happen when you're under pressure, playing the ball out, mishaps, and yeah, she's doing really well.
That one's hooked in towards the area. It's going to break for Field on the edge. Pops it into Rojan. Breaks for McLaughlin, whose shot is blocked by Plummer. And Woden send it back out for another throw-in. Midway through the first half, live on Bar TV Sports, still 1-0 to Canberra Olympic. The rising shot from Rojan in the 10th minute, dividing the two sides. Field goes back to Hill. Gets it back from the defender, but then turns over possession, and it's briefly 3-on-3.
Yeah, Jamison's done well there to just drop off cover and absorb, and as you can see, the through balls won't work when you got to play nice and deep. But again, a cheap turnover from Olympics causing counter-attacks for Woden.
They've looked for Vandenbroek again here. Out comes O'Brien, and she did well to read that one. Otherwise, Vandenbroek may have been in on goal again. Once again, she struggles with her kicking a little. 3 results from the men's yesterday. Canberra FC beat Belconnen United 5-0 at McKellar Park. Monero Panthers and Woden Weston shared 8 goals in a 4-all draw, and Tigers FC bounced back from their thrashing by Canberra FC last week to win 7-0 away at Riverina Rhinos. So plenty of goals in the men's competition yesterday.
Yeah, plenty of goals. Nice to see. The Bar TV game yesterday between Belconnen and Canberra FC was quite an upset with the scoreline, but it's also good to see the men it's a tight competition this season. And
we saw Thomas James score an absolute pearler in that one yesterday with a right foot volley that absolutely screamed past the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I saw the highlights. Finn Durack had no chance of saving that, and it's great to see that quality of goals are coming out in the Canberra Premier League.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of them in the women's competition as well this year. Lots of long ranges.
Yeah, lots of long ranges, couple of free kicks.
Saw one from you here,
yeah,
and one from Mickey Day in this similar kind of position.
Nearly identical, just opposite foot. No, it's good to see, and I think it's really good that they're getting the coverage the same as the men's, because otherwise, these goals and these players aren't going to be noticed.
Well, we're going to lose Alison Caruso here. Looks maybe to an injury, and there's a substitution for Woden Weston. This is Sarah Crittenden who's coming on, combative midfielder.
Yeah, Sarah's come actually and trialled a couple of times with Canberra United, and is really quite a skillful and mature, experienced player, and will actually be a great addition, great sub to have on the bench. And
here's her first touch, finds McGlashan, and she hubs it on its way, and Dawson got a toe back and the flag went up. But instant introduction from Sarah Crittenden.
Already a great little pass in behind, and if that first touch had been a little bit more controlled, may have gotten a shot away.
She's forgotten her shin pads. That's how quick she came on the field there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about how the refs missed that one, but it's been a long day for them, so we'll let it slide.
She was called on pretty quickly, wasn't she? I don't think we saw much wrong with Caruso, but she did limp off there, so maybe she pulled something. McLaughlin finds Gal, looking to return the compliment, but Nankaro stands strong. Dawson picks up the loose ball. Hill helps it forward, and it's a good ball too. McLaughlin touch has been a bit rusty. That's what you perhaps would expect, though.
Yeah, she's obviously got injured.
Well, here comes Vandenbroek, and Gabby O'Brien has hesitated, and Vandenbroek's in, but she's dragged her shot just wide of goal again, and once more, you can't really say it's a warning anymore, can you? Because that's about 4 or 5 times she's got in.
Yeah, definitely. I think Gabby O'Brien did really well to shut down the angle, and possibly the only option she really had there was trying to find it between her legs or maybe near post, as Gabby had a lot of the goal covered. So good goalkeeping, but again, she's getting in behind, and it should be starting to alert Olympic that eventually the goal is going to come.
Thought for a moment that when O'Brien hesitated and then came again that she maybe was thinking about going around a little touch to the side and open up the angle.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those ones where you do it right, it looks great, and you do it wrong and you wish you would have just had the shot. So understandably that she took the shot, but maybe next time she has it, she'll think about rounding the keeper. Yeah,
it's your debut in the commentary box, Grace, and I'll let you know that we never make a mistake up here. We always make the right choice.
I know, aren't we just perfect?
Absolutely. Never missed one from up here.
No, it's a little bit different.
when you've got the boots on out on the field.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You make a mistake and you can make up for it, but no, the refs have the toughest job, I think, with the copying the criticism from the players, but all part of the game.
Here's Field, dancing past a couple of challenges, gets to the edge of the box, looking for an option. In the end, she's picked out the wrong one, which is the red and black shirt of McGlashan. And McGlashan and Vanderbroek have caused all sorts of issues for the Olympic defence, and that hasn't helped themselves when they've been turning the ball over so easily. And away goes Vanderbroek again. Across goes Jameson, and she needs to go defend this well, and O'Brien is down low. But they've been the orchestrators of their own demise at the moment. Olympic, they keep turning that ball over, Grace, and that's going to be worrying Eddie Senatori.
Yeah,
there is another example right there.
It's showing, as soon as they're giving it away, but not only is it a cheap turnover, but it's in really dangerous positions for Woden and our back in our defensive half. And as you can see, the two Woden players up front are making a menace of it, and if it keeps up, they'll eventually punish us.
It's good press, isn't it? And they're compacting the field when Olympic get the ball, forcing them to play facing their own goal.
Yeah, definitely. It's always dangerous, and they're working really hard. And for only really pressing with two, they're almost covering the whole back four, which is showing how effective the press is. It means they can block off the central areas in midfield where perhaps Canberra Olympic is strongest.
Well, that was Crittenden looking to get in down the right-hand side. Try and bring you some scores at half-time from the other two games as well, if we can. Interesting to see what's going on over there. Well, you called 3-1 before kickoff, didn't you? I think it was 3-1. We got one of them already.
Yeah.
And there's been plenty of chances for Woden to get on the scoreboard. And you get the feeling that they're going to get a few more before this finishes.
Yeah, now it really is one of those games now where I think both teams, as the game opens up and goes on, are going to have chances, and it's probably going to be the winners are going to come out, the ones who take their chances when there's slight opportunity, and that's when the goals are going to come and the game's going to change.
The runner again in behind is McGlashan. Goes into the area, across comes Hill. She does enough to knock that one back, but O'Brien's giving it away, and here's a chance. It's Anna Vanderbroek. There's no one in the goal, but defensively that time Victoria Jamison gets it 100% correct and forces it out for a corner.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of confusion there with Gabby O'Brien in goals, not knowing whether she could pick it up for counting as a back pass, so she went with the safer option, but turned out to be quite a dangerous one.
And Jamison won that duel between her and Vanderbroek. It looked like Vanderbroek was just about to pull the trigger, and the defender got back. Now you can see them shielding their eyes in the penalty area with that sun which we talked about earlier, and if Crittenden drops this into a dangerous area, there could be problems. Swings it into that 6-yard area, bounces around, shot comes in from Gaia, and it's a loopy one into the hands of O'Brien. Looks to get her team going again. She's rolled this one out. Rojan again facing goal. Jamison.
Yeah, one of the perks of having both Grace Field and Sally Rojan in the midfield is even under pressure, Olympic are able to play their feet and get out. And that's who they often look for in when they're playing out from the back. And it's good to see that that those ex-Canberra United and that level of players are in the league and controlling the game.
Olympic in possession. Bassa Silk. Looked like she'd lost it, but won it back again. Vecchi. Well, Rojan's turn. Olympic building. McLaughlin looking to help it into the path of field. It breaks instead to Bassa Silk, who runs into the defensive wall of Plummer. And Woden will bring this one away. Crittenden. Once again, Vanderbroek has peeled away, and once again, no one's gone with her. Crittenden wants it back. Couldn't quite get it past Jamison, who once again defends well.
Yeah, another good battle between the two, and good work from Woden to pick up that ball. And again, it's looking to be almost a 3v3, big gap between the midfield and the defensive line from Olympic, and Woden are utilising that.
Whitfield found Crittenden, but she loses out. Here's Miller Carton. Not had too many touches in the match so far, the midfielder. Here's Gaia. Nice ball inside. Took out 2 Olympic players to find Crittenden. And she's tries to force her way through a couple of challenges. Still going. Still battling away. Left something in there on Vecchi for a moment. Here's Gaia again. Woden Weston certainly given as good as they've got so far. Miller Carton, she's given that one away to McLaughlin. Now here's a chance if it's pushed through from Fauna. The flag will stay down, I think, but McLaughlin can't get there because G had read it and come a long way from goal.
Yeah, it was the right idea. Obviously, just a bit too much of a straight ball, and goalie was well off her line, so she did well to play that sweeper keeper role.
It's McGlashan pushing it down the line, looking to chase her own ball. Nicely done by Hill. Dawson. She gives it away as well, and then Caro.
Yeah, again, those cheap turnovers where you're cutting 3 or 4 Olympic players off with the one pass, it's really causing Olympic trouble.
And Crittenden was bundling her way into the penalty area there, forcing her way past a couple of players. Very physical midfield player, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a workhorse and will put her body on the line for the team, and you know, when there's a battle to be won in the midfield, she'll always put her money on not losing out easily.
Miller Carton's touch, and it's Woden's turn to give it away, but Miller Carton gets a second opportunity. She finds Gaia, and she tries her luck from a long way out.
Yeah, and you know, not a bad idea. The right position again, she wasn't pressured, and there wasn't a lot of space in behind. Worth a shot, just not coming off the foot right and skewing wide.
Yeah, she wasn't happy with herself as soon as she made connection. She knew it wasn't going to test the goalkeeper.
Yeah, you can feel those ones, and you could hear it come off a bit tinny.
Ambitious effort from that distance into the wind. Here's a chance perhaps for Olympic. It skews off the foot in midfield, and Nankaro has to come across to clear. Found Gao, who switched to this near side. Canberra Olympic leading by that goal from Sally Rojan in the 10th minute. McLaughlin bounces up off her. There'll be another throw right down in front of us here. That was the second goal of the season for Rojan. Not a notorious goal scorer, is she?
No, tends to be the behind the scenes workhorse that sits deep in that midfield role, or you know, more often or not, she's had roles in at fullback and in the defensive line. So I'm sure she'll be very happy with the goal, despite not showing it.
Jemison, left-footed, chips that one into the penalty area. Grace Basser-Silk was the closest, but it bounced through to the Wanderers keeper G. She gives it to Whitfield, who finds Gaia. And smashes that one off of Jamison.
Yeah, she did really well to block there. It's quite hard not to yell out good work to your teammates, but so far I haven't been able to let my mouth slip yet.
She's wearing the captain's armband today as well. Is that a surprise, or is that she's been around?
Yeah, she's been with Olympic for a couple of years now, I believe, and she's been really good for the team and worked her ass off. So, but Beck's obviously Keating's away, our usual captain, and so she's had the honours for the last 2 weeks of wearing the captain's armband. Well,
the flag has stayed down here, and here's an opportunity for Woden Weston to equalise. That's a good save from O'Brien. In fact, the flag went up, but it went up very, very late indeed. And that was a good ball through from McGlashan and a chance to Mackenzie. And even though the flag went up, there was a top save from Gabby O'Brien.
Great save, and it seemed to be a bit of a late offside call there, but I think if you looked at the replay, it probably was the right call.
I have this conversation in the men's NPL, Grace, most weeks with Steve Forshaw, who commentates with me, and it's so frustrating, this offside call, when they're offside and they don't put the flag up until they touch the ball.
The new FIFA ruling is they have to have some influence in the play.
Absolutely.
I think, again, with the rules, it's all open to interpretation, and I think players can have an influence on the play whether they touch the ball or not. So as soon as they have a play at it, whether they run to it or not, believe it should be caught up. But I'm not the ref, so.
Bit before your time, but there was a football coach, I think it was Brian Clough, who was charged of Nottingham Forest, and he said if you're not influencing the play, you shouldn't be on the field.
Yeah. that's a great point, isn't it? That, especially in this day and age when you got a few strikers, they're usually all influencing the play, whether it's on the other side of the field making a run for a cross or to the ball.
Yeah, or just peeling away in a decoy run or whatever it may be, everyone's got their own roles out there and they're influencing in some way or other.
Yeah, there's always been those controversial calls on players just standing in the middle of the penalty box but not touching the ball.
McLaughlin will chase after this. Gives us something to talk about, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty boring if they got it right all the time.
Definitely, and it's always a good talking point for the players on the field, making sure the refs are on their toes.
And you mentioned it earlier that they do a good job, these referees, when every single call, 50% think he's got it right, 50% think they've got it wrong.
Yeah, definitely, and sometimes, they'll get it wrong, but I think that's the part of football that we know and love, the unpredictability of it. But yeah, now it's
a great ball from Guy. Now Vanderbroek's got in at goal side again. Not many options, and she fires it across goal, and that was a chance for McGlashan. He kind of skipped up on her inside the 6-yard box, but she'll be disappointed not to have turned that in.
Yeah, they're just one of those balls that bounce at that awkward height where it's almost like you've just got to let the ball hit your body and go in rather than play at it, and like she did there, mistime it, and it just kind of ricocheted off her shin. But again, another great chance through this right-hand flank for Woden, and they're going to be wishing to have a couple of these back.
As you say, just stand there and maybe let it hit you on the knee.
Yeah,
and then just hope it goes goalwards.
It's easier to say now, but in the moment, I'm sure it would have been make more sense to have a play at it.
Where's Vecchi, who's defended well so far in this first half. Hill sends that one forward. Good run from Rojan. And that's a good ball too. Looking down to the right-hand side for Fauna. Can she deliver into the penalty area? There was 3 blue shirts in there. It's been fumbled and turned into the net from close range. Canberra Olympic have a second goal. And that was all the work down the right-hand side of Alexia Fauna to ping it across into the penalty area. And Grace Basser-Silk said, thank you very much, and makes it 2-0.
There you go. I caught it. Thought Grace Basser-Silk would get on the scoreboard, but it was a great run from Rojan to put Alexia Fauna through, and a great first-time cross. You speak about where you are in the field and where your cross needs to be, and she chose the right ball there and caught the keeper a bit off her line, and good finish.
There was 3 blue shirts queuing up to put that one in. It's a bit rough on Woden Weston.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things where they wish they could have those opportunities down that right flank again, but at the end of the day, that's football, and it's the team that wins is the one that puts it in the back of the net.
Jameson swung that into the penalty area, and then Carrow gets rid of it. Dawson. Vecchi. As you said, it was a good move and a good ball through, and yep, you did call it. Basser-Silk before kickoff and 3-1.
Yeah.
And it's on that way. It looks like that at the moment.
I mean, I won't mind if it's 4 or 5-1. That's fine as well. But as long as we keep Woden to 1, that would be great.
You do realise if it finishes 3-1 and with Grace Basser-Silk on the score sheet now that there's going to be an investigation into how you knew this.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that's very true. This is but I guess you can't call if they're going to score.
It's a great prediction.
But, Grace decides to tie a shoe up in the 64th minute, then maybe they'll start getting suspicious. But
that's the second of the season for Grace Basser-Silk as well. She scored in the opening game, I think, against the Canberra United Academy, which finished in a 5-3 win. Sneaky little hat-trick for Grace Maher that day.
Yeah, it was a nice little revenge against the old academy team that I've been with for so many years, and against a lot of players that I play in the W League or in previous years with. So it was a great game, and looking forward to being able to play them again in the last game of the season.
And they're eligible for finals this year as well, which is good, and
so
they're pushing that way.
The first year Actas, which was the previous Canberra United Academy team, we made the grand final against Belconnen when we were eligible, and it's awesome to see that you can have those teams eligible, and I think they're sitting comfortably now in second or third, and so they should have a role in the finals, and it'll be a good test for the younger players.
I think I called that game a number of years ago now, with the Actas Belconnen grand final.
Unfortunately, myself and Julia DeAngelis weren't able to play in that grand final. It was our first season with Canberra United, and wish we could have been there, but it was just great that the girls were able to experience finals football, and that's those sorts of.
Well, that's a good ball in, and it almost broke for McGlashan. Sorry to cut you off there, Grace.
Right. It's just really good experience for those young girls to have finals football and the pressures of that. I'm hoping Academy, as much as they're our opposition, do well and get to make it into the finals.
Well, that's been a good thing about the women's NPL this year, is there's been some very competitive matches. McGlashan wins that in the header. Gaia fires that one back in, and look at the way the wind took that.
Yeah, it looked like it was going out for sure, but
stayed in, and Mackenzie's picked that up on the left-hand side. Back to Nankaro. Fauna's in there. Breaks for Dawson, who just pokes it forward. That was D'Amico. It's a good switch to this near side as well, and that's well won by McGow. Plummer. Space for Whitfield. Vandenbroek makes the run ahead of her as normal, and she's going to get the ball up against Field, who stands strong. It's back to Vandenbroek though, twisting and turning, but Grace Field's seen that before.
Yeah, you see him getting a bit of tired legs down that flank, looking a bit hesitant to take it up the line and use her pace, and you'll see that as the game goes on. Great
turn from Gow, looking for McLaughlin. Gets that one under control. Not many blue shirts ahead of her. There is one making the run to the right, who was Fauna. She's gone left instead to Gow, and across comes Miller Carton.
Yeah, no, did well to hold it up there, but she does need a bit more work ethic from the forwards or even the overlapping midfielders to help support her when she's that deep.
Fauna made the run, but it was a little late. I don't think McLaughlin had seen it. Entertaining first half. Still 1-0 here, live on Par TV Sports. Here's Crittenden. And O'Brien should collect that comfortably. Here's Rojan. Good turn. Fields ahead. Noticeably getting quite tight to Rojan and Field whenever they've got the ball in possession. They've given it away again here. We'll come back to that in a second. Here's Gaia. And she's mistimed that cross.
Yeah, they've obviously done their homework and done some video footage, and I think for the midfield that Woden have, they're all very young, and I know a fair few of them have either played with or against them, and they've actually been nearly, would say, dominating on the upper hand, them experienced midfield.
Gaia swings it into the area, bounces, chance perhaps for a shot from distance. It was a fizzle too from Alex Mackenzie. It was always rising, but it had Gabby O'Brien worried. Good connection from the midfielder and almost brought her team level.
Yeah, great strike. You might think that if she didn't have that wind against her, rather for her, that might have stayed down and gone in just under the bar.
I meant back into it rather than level, of course. It's 2-0. Forgot about Grace Basser-Silk's goal. Rajan after 10 minutes. Grace Basser-Silk after 39. 2-0 to Canberra Olympic. Field loses out to Whitfield. Here's Field again. Good run ahead of her, and it's Fauna. The keeper's come. Good connection as well. Mackenzie.
Yeah, she's doing really well, in really good position to stay, catch any loose balls in behind. But if that had been a bit more of an angle, Alexia Fauna probably would have been in on goal then.
Rojan slides it into the channel to McLaughlin, one-on-one with Plummer. Tries to hold her up, and defensively once again Bridget Plummer does very well indeed.
Yeah, very well. Meg's got a lethal shot on her left foot, and you can see she's probably trying to turn out and bring it onto that left foot there, so really well defended to keep her on the right.
We're into stoppage time at the end of the first half. The 2 goals for Olympic have them in the box seat at the moment, and they're finishing the half on the attack with McLaughlin off of Dawson's throw, looking to turn and swing it into the area. Acrobatic effort from Basser-Silk. Didn't quite come off there.
Yeah, maybe a bit more commitment and she could have pulled off a bicycle kick.
She thought about it, and she went for it. Didn't quite work though. Crittenden picks up the ball for Woden. Whitfield. She's not got that one right as well. You can see what she's trying to do, bend it in round the back for McGlashan, and referee Nathan Shakespeare says that'll do for the end of the first half. And Grace, Olympic leading 2-0, and on the balance you'd say, well, okay, that's probably fair, but Woden Weston have had their chances.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe Olympic are looking a little bit more clinical and a bit more mature up front, and that was something they've been missing. But in terms of chances sake, you'd say be skewing a bit towards Woden, but that's how football is, and Olympic will probably be pretty happy heading to the break 2-0 with that performance, and I'm sure it'll be a great second half.
Yeah, we'll be back for the second half in a few moments' time, but at half-time, a rising drive from Sally Rojan after 10 minutes and a second prodded in from close range by Grace Bassett-Silk with 6 minutes to go at the end of the first half leaves us here at O'Connor Enclosed in the Women's NPL at Canberra Olympic 2, Woden Weston FC 0. So welcome back to O'Connell Close for the second half of the Women's National Premier League. I'm Russ Gibbs. Alongside me in the second half, as she was in the first, is Grace Marr. Grace, I understand we got some clarification for the offside rules at half-time on our video.
Yeah, Jack Ross back and cleared it up for us, and if anyone's looking for the clarifications of the ruling of offsides, it's on the comments in the NPL video. Just
to clarify for Jack, we weren't suggesting he was wrong. We're just suggesting that the referee linesman was wrong. We were just suggesting that perhaps he could have flagged it earlier. Saved us all 5 minutes of running around. Anyway, we got 2 goals in this first half to look back on. And the first one, Grace, Sally Rojan, absolutely lashed that one in the top corner, didn't she?
Yeah, it was a great strike. Sally's often not up that high, and when she is, she tends not to shoot. So it was great to see that she put that one in the back of the net.
And Grace Basser-Silk, less spectacular, but no less important. Just there poaching on a rebound to prod home the second. Yeah,
that was more so a great team goal and great build-up, and capitalised on a loose ball in the box.
But positively for Woden, they created a number of chances themselves, particularly Anna Vandenbroek, who looked sharp.
Yeah, definitely. I think Woden probably had some of the more clear-cut chances and a lot more of them, and now they've got the wind going in their favour, so it'll be interesting to see this half if they can keep up the intensity, and perhaps a few more goals will come. Well,
Woden will kick us off in the second half. Their team lines up as follows: G in goal, Nankara, Whitfield, Plummer back 3, D'Amico, Miller, Carton, McGlashan, Crittenden and Gaia are the midfield 5, if you like, and then Mackenzie and Vandenbroek up front. Do you think we'll see much different from them in this half in terms of where they play?
No, I think they've got some good success, so I think they've been told to do much more of the same, and maybe just tidy up on a couple of things that saw Olympics score, and use the wind to utilise getting in behind, and just being a bit more clinical, and then for Olympic to tidy up those cheap turnovers so they don't get put under the pump so much in the back line.
It looks like Kath Conroy's come on, in fact, and the back for Woden Weston for Sarah Whitfield. So that's one change. We'll go through the Olympic lineup in just a moment, as Woden looked to get on the front foot early on. McGlashan back to Gaia. That channel down there was their main source of inspiration in the first half. Gaia looking to get a ball into the box. Woden working it around the edge of the penalty area. McGlashan looks back for Gaia. Cross goes Jemison. It clears it into midfield to Basser-Silk, and she'll be able to bring that one away. But Nankaro intercepts. Free kick, and just to run through the Olympic lineup: O'Brien in goal, Jamison, Hill, Vecchi and Dawson across the back, Rojan, Field and Fauna in midfield, Basser-Silk, Gal and McLaughlin the front 3. Early pressure from Woden and a chance for them to load this one into the penalty area. With the wind behind them in this half, that one's headed up in the air. Field lets it bounce and half clears it, and it's prodded goalwards. Gabby O'Brien had to be alert. Mackenzie didn't quite get enough on it to trouble her, but an early touch for the keeper. Do you expect much in the way of difference of tactics in this half, Grace?
I think both teams will probably stick to what they've started the start of the first half with, and maybe just clean up a couple of areas. So we might not see too much of a change. Woden are sticking to their back 3. Meaning they're overloading the midfield, and going to see how Canberra Olympic can counteract that, because they obviously only have the 3 in the midfield. But McLaughlin's really staying up high on that last defender, knowing that if she can get the ball to her feet, she's got a great opportunity to go 1v1, and Woden are going to have to look out for that.
She's not really had a shot on target yet, McLaughlin. I'm sure there'll be one coming. Doesn't often go a whole game without half a chance.
No, definitely, and I'm sure as the defenders tire and the game goes on, if she stays on the field, then she'll start finding a bit of space to have those, even some long range shots.
Gaia, who's been lively throughout, overhits that one there. O'Brien has it. Not much height in either goalkeeper today.
No, it's a nice thing to have when they're in the opposition, and a smart player with a boot, and we've seen Chantel Jones do it many a time. pick that keeper off the line, and with the height, she can often hit some in the back of the net from quite a far distance out.
Cracking shot on her as well, Chantel Jones.
Yeah, so
as you'd expect from a former goalkeeper who's can crack a goal kick a mile.
Yeah, not only a fantastic goalkeeper, but she's proven to be quite the striker for Canberra FC over the last couple of seasons, and rightly so. When she went back in goals for that grand final last season, nearly helped Canberra FC to that title, and a great addition to the league.
Dawson was pinged for a foul throw there, and Conroy threw the resultant Woden throw very long. Ball got stuck in her hands, I think, for young Dawson. The upshot, though, is a goal kick to Canberra Olympic, who have that 2-goal cushion in the first half. Someone asked me at half-time what I thought of the first half. I said I thought they were comfortably uncomfortable at 2-0, because they could well have been 2-2.
Yes, definitely. I think it's a good way to put it. Another nice strike. Just not quite troubling the goalie, Gabby, but and again, one slip-up or one well-hit ball, and that could be in the back of the net.
Well, here come Woden. Mackenzie had the first shot of the second half. Been forced a bit wide. Taken over by Vandenbroek, and we know she's got some skills and ability. Into the air, shoots from a narrow angle, always going wide, but positive signs once more for Woden Weston and for Diego Almudawa.
Yeah, the second halves continue much similar to the first half, with Woden having a lot of shots and maybe not as clear-cut as some in the first half, but it's showing good signs for them heading into the last 45.
And they're on the front foot again here. Chance for Crittenden to find Vandenbroek, and she looks to free Mackenzie, and O'Brien's come to collect. Didn't quite get the angle on the pass she needed, but Woden Weston starting on the front foot as they did in the first half. Here's Conroy. Meaty clip out to the right hand side, looking for the runner who's McGlashan, who's going to get there ahead of Jamison. It does very well. Now finds Geyer in support. Here's a chance for Woden Weston. Crittenden, but across came Sandra Hill, as she's done for most of the game. Defends it very well. Woden, though, attacking the goal. Rojan clears this one. Gow helps it away to Field. Robbed in midfield. And then the long ball asks McLaughlin to chase. Plummer has to be careful. McLaughlin's with her. Bridget Plummer, exceptional piece of defending again, and Conroy gets rid of it.
Yeah, she's done really well there. Meg's such a physical presence as well as her pace, and she's used her body excellent to not only keep Meg off the ball but retain it and play it out.
Will be a throw in front of the grandstand in the shadows. Fields. Not as cold today as it was yesterday in Canberra. Not as windy either. Bit of sunshine always helps. Dawson wins a throw in. It's freezing cold last night though.
Yeah, it was a bit of a miserable day yesterday. I was glad that we didn't have a game on the Sunday and no junior football to go out and do some duties with, so got to stay inside yesterday or in the gym, and it was nice to see the sun out today.
Miller Carton back to Conroy, finds Crittenden. Nice football from Woden, and as I said, that they give it away, and that's handball against Geyer. As you mentioned, the winner today will push themselves to the fringes of the top four. In fact, the Olympic, if they did win, would go into the top four, depending on obviously the results elsewhere. But with Gungahlin losing last night, was the result that those of a blue persuasion would have wanted. Bit of a logjam there, Grace, for that fourth place position at the moment, isn't there? With Gungahlin, Woden Western Olympic and Monero all thinking that they've got an opportunity. Yeah,
I was looking at the table last night, and obviously Belconnen, the Academy and Canberra FC are sitting a bit comfortably at the moment ahead, and then it is a real grudge match for those next place positions. Well,
Mackenzie's got goal side here for a moment. Hill needs to be at her best, and that is some good defending again from Sandra Hill.
Try to get away with tricking the ref into a goal kick there, but he's
Too alert, Nathan Shakespeare.
Score, yeah.
Yeah, so it is a bit of a logjam as well, isn't it? And it could go anyway.
Yeah, I definitely think this middle round, where it's the second time the teams are playing, will really start to take shape of the ladder. And heading into that last round of the season, every 3 points will be crucial, and hopefully we can see a bit of a gap close.
Ball comes in, Plummer looks to win it, and the head is goalward. It's bouncing around. There's a big appeal for handball from those in red and black. Nothing doing from Nathan Shakespeare. McLaughlin's touch is a bit rusty again. McGlashan finds the shot from distance from Vandenbroek. It was blocked.
You could see Meg was just trying to get a little flick around the corner to launch that counter-attack. It didn't come off, but well defended by Grace Field there.
Throw finds Vandenbroek in the area, and she can't wrap her foot around it, and it will be a goal kick. Looking at the Olympic bench, Grace, you've got Vanessa Ryan, Shaquille Chong, Kirsten Hurt, and the couple of goalkeepers as well. If they were to make a change, do you think we might see Vanessa Ryan? She's been in good goal scoring form.
Yeah, she's been great. Addition that she's come up, performed well in reserve grade and been rewarded with that. Sitting on the bench.
Hill wins a header and needs to get back there to volley it clear.
Yeah, and as you see the game go on and our forwards tire, depending on what we want to do and whether we want to keep scoring goals or protect the lead, you might see Vanessa come on and play as a striker.
Well, here's Bassa Silk. She's lining one up from range, but she didn't catch hold of it. Thought about the shot on the first bounce, and that may have been the better option. When she took the touch, it kind of rolled away from her. But it's a good ball in from field. Well, the clearance at that end is only found Gal. Dawson brings it down. Bassa Silk. McLaughlin and Rojan swap passes. Here's Meg McLaughlin, and whistle's gone for a free kick. Bridget Plummer ends up on the floor.
Yeah, it's quite congested in that midfield area, and it's going to have to require some neat one-touch footwork from Olympic to be able to break down that Woden defence. But as you saw, Grace found a little bit of pocket of space, and yeah, if she had it backed herself on that first bounce, it could have ended up in the back of the net.
Into the wind, which possibly crossed her mind. There's Bridget Plummer tying her bootlace, not in the 64th minute,
yeah,
so you're okay.
I had a bit of that thought run through my mind then. I might have to just keep my mouth quiet.
The 55th, so not far off.
Well, still, once we pass that 64th minute, then I'll be fine.
Nankaro. Woden trailing 2-0, but looking to find a way back into the match. Always could be caught on the break, though, if they're not careful. Vecchi and Jamison are there, and they've, between them, just about got rid of it, but Guy's involved once more. Now she finds McGlashan. Appeal for offside. McGlashan has it. Ball swept into the penalty area, and it's going to almost found its way through to Vandenbroek, and Gabby O'Brien at the second attempt clawed it into her chest.
She really, after spilling it really well to get quick hands onto that, otherwise that would have been a poached goal for Woden.
Well, she recovered well. But once again, that right-hand channel seems to be where they're testing Victoria Jamison.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see if Woden could push up that channel and then circulate it out to the other side, because there's quite a lot of space out here, and they've got some good players with great strikes, and it may also catch Olympic off guard.
Here's McLaughlin. Plummer won it.
Yeah, she's been fantastic all day on Meg McLaughlin, and see if she can do it for the full 90.
Gal's in there. D'Amico was challenging. Breaks for Mackenzie. Looks to slide that one through, but Hill defensively has been good for Olympic. Mackenzie has it back though. Been challenged by Dawson. Conroy. Looking for an option. In the end she clips one forward. Vecchi won it. Now Hill. And the calmness once again provided by Rojan. As you said in the first half, Grace, it's good to have Field and Rojan both there, just to calm it down when it seems to be getting a little bit frantic. We'll come back to that thought in a second as they've given the ball away again, and Gaia looking into the penalty area. And here is Rojan. Mancaro. No one can get hold of it at the moment. It's just pinging around like a hot potato in there, and Woden looking to perhaps get a shot away. McGlashan forces it wide to Gaia in towards the penalty area.
Yeah, it's starting to get to a bit of that stage of the game where players are tiring and the game's screaming out for someone to take control and keep that ball on the deck. And so far, both teams are playing just a bit of transition football.
From your point of view as an attacking midfielder, having Field and Rojan alongside you as well must be quite a calming thought to have those kind of presence there. Yeah,
it's really good. They're obviously ex-Canberra United players who are young and brilliant at their feet and composed, and they always will find you, so it's really easy as a attacking midfielder to be able to make forward runs knowing they'll find you, and then they'll delay the ball in defence so that you can work to get back and help out.
McLaughlin was flagged for offside there. And Woden have the throw on the far hand side. They made 2 changes. They've still got 2 more up their sleeve. Geraldine Longo and Lotta Rapp, the other 2 substitutes they've named today. Field for Olympic. Jamison finds Rojan, but it's bounced off of the midfielder. And Miller Carton. It's her turn to give the ball away. This time to Gal. As the wind picks up across the field. Quite blustery now.
Yeah, as that sun's starting to set, starting to feel the chill of that wind, and I'm sure it's also going to have an effect on the game.
Crittenden. Jamison wins a tackle. So Woden will feel that they've still got a foothold in this one. They're only 2-0 down, and they've played pretty well so far. And here's McGlashan looking to create something for her team. Pulls it back. Conroy was arriving. Didn't quite get the contact she was hoping for. Crittenden's there, though. Now Miller Carton. She flicks one goalwards. Well, that was more in hope than expectation.
Yeah, it's getting to the time in the game where, for Woden, a goal now is crucial to keep their belief in coming back as the later stages of the game, and I'm sure Olympic will start to look to use up as much time as possible, knowing they've got that buffer of 2-0. The Blue Shirts looking to add to those goals in the first half from Rojan and Bassa Silk. Played 17 minutes of the second half here live on Bar TV Sports. With those 2 goals, the difference at the moment, Olympic leading Woden Weston 2-0. That one's through to O'Brien again. We've seen several of those in the second half. Yeah, I think Woden are struggling to adjust to the having the wind in their back in the second half. And a lot of the balls are going too far into Gabby. Well, Fields asked McLaughlin to get after that one, and Plummer, as she has done all day, has shadowed her, using all of her experience. She's done well, Meg McLaughlin, to last so far. She's been out for quite a while with injury, and it's good to see that she's getting plenty of minutes in her legs. Great touch from Crittenden, and a great turn too. Getting away from a marker, looking to find Mackenzie. Her poked ball forward, those intercepted, and Olympic looked to break. But Bassa Silk's turn to turn over the ball. Miller Carton. Caught late by Bassa Silk, no foul, says Shakespeare. Field finds McLaughlin onto that left foot. Will she shoot from distance? She will. It's dipping as well, and just cleared the crossbar. Thought that was the moment for Meg McLaughlin for a second. Yeah, you got a glimpse of that left foot and the power that she possesses. Yeah, it was a great little combination play between her and Grace Field. And, yeah, perhaps keep that one a little bit lower, and that's smashing in the back of the net. Yeah, she'll be disappointed she's not hit the target, or at least forced the keeper to make a save there. A warning there for Woden if they needed one. There's Nancaro. McGlashan will chase this, and she's been a willing runner
all afternoon. This time she's beaten to the ball and concedes a free kick. It's good for teams when you've got players like McGlashan and Vanderbroek there that will chase those balls into channels all day.
Yeah, I think it keeps the game alive, and those players, they work hard for the team and puts a lot of belief in the team to keep pushing despite being down, and they're crucial to the backbone of this team.
Well, Olympic have turned the ball over again, and Vecchi's made a mistake. The flag goes up to Vanderbroek.
She's lucky with obviously the last touch coming off the Olympic player to be caught offside, but again, I'm no expert on the offside rules, so I'll leave it to the experts.
I'm guessing she must have been offside when the initial pass was played.
Yeah.
Before it came off the defender. Substitution here for Woden Weston. Lotta Rapp is coming on. And that's the end of the day for Anna Vandenbroek, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be interesting now, fresh legs, to start pushing up in those channels and see how the Olympic defence cope with that.
Lotta Rapp scored a couple of goals this season. She scored in the opening game against Tuggeranong, and she scored in the final minutes against Canberra United's academy last week, so another goal threat. I'm sure she'll put the effort in to try and get her side back into the contest. Olympic looking for what possibly at this stage would be a killer third. You struggle to see Woden Weston coming back from a third goal.
Yeah, I think, if Olympic are able to get a goal in this next 10 or so minutes, it really could put the game to bed. Kill the momentum a bit for Woden.
His Rab just goes past the marker into the penalty area. And there's a glimpse of what she can offer. And they're giving it away again. Rojan rather carelessly leaves that to Mackenzie. Huge amount of space for McGlashan, and she helps it on its way out wide towards Gaia, who comes into the penalty area. Falls down. There's a chance here. Gaia pulls it back. Opportunity for Rapp. Couldn't get a foot around it or any pace on the ball to trouble the keeper. But another chance for Woden Weston. It's almost like the first half again, isn't it? Where they've had half chances gifted to them by Olympic turning the ball over, and then, of course, Olympic went up the other end and scored.
Yeah, it's they had a couple of options for a cutback there, and I think, what's missing for them is just that conviction in their decision making that can find them with that finishing touch and having that shot on goal. But it is positive from Woden this early on in the season, and I think the next encounter with top teams will be really good.
They're giving as good as they have got for most of this match, and here they come again. Ball into the penalty area. O'Brien this time. She certainly had plenty to do without really having to make any outstanding saves. Yeah,
it's very true. That's what, Woden have had many shots and many balls into the area, but none have been nearly likely to be goals. But Gabby's been solid and done what she's needed to do to cause no cheap goals, and that's all you can ask of your keeper.
Did make one great save in the first half, which wouldn't have counted for anything anyway, when Vanderbroek was offside, but Brown wasn't to know that. Here's Bassa Silk. Plummer just thumps that one forward. It was a tired-looking clearance from Bridget Plummer. Yeah, she's had to work hard all game, and so sometimes you just need that little bit of relief from getting the ball forward for your backs, and she did that, and it's obviously picked up the wind and gone out for a goal kick. And Eddie Sedatori decides to make a change. Emma Gow is done for the day. Who's coming on here, Grace? Can't see the number.
Vanessa.
Is this Ryan?
Yep.
So this will be a like-for-like change? Yeah,
Vanessa possesses, I think, a little bit more pace, and she's quite good with balls in behind. So she's come on a couple of times for us, started a couple of games as well and scored, and provided me with a couple of assists too. So she's well-rounded and a great product that's come through Olympic Reserve to get some time in first grade.
Yeah, 3 goals for her this season, a brace against Gungahlin, her latest, and she scored against Tuggeranong in the 5-0 win that we covered on Bar TV Sports. I believe, if memory serves me right, she scored 4 in the reserves that day as well, so she knows where the goal is. Looking to add to her tally and try and claw back some goals on Grace Maher, who leads the scoring charts for Olympic. Here is Ryan. Robbed in tackle by Kath Conroy, who fizzes a shot in, and Brian can't hold it, and it's dropped into the net. And the pace from Kath Conroy's shot has caused issues for O'Brien, who couldn't get her body fully behind it, and she's fumbled it into the net. That's unfortunate for the young goalkeeper, but it's given Woden Weston a way back into the game.
Yeah, definitely. It's exactly what they needed, and unfortunate that, that power of that shot just slipped through Gabby O'Brien's hands. But like you said, you shoot to score, and it's really going to lift Woden's spirits for this last 20 or so minutes.
Just over 20 to go, and Conroy's goal brings it back to 2-1. Someone not too far away from me predicted a 3-1 win at the start of the game with a goal from Grace Basser-Silk, so that's on the cards.
Yeah, definitely, and I hope it ends that way, but this last 20 minutes now, with the momentum maybe shifting in towards Woden's favour, have to see who can take the game into their own hands. And
you have to say, even with your Olympic hat on, that's what Woden Weston deserved, really. They've battled all game and they deserve a goal.
Yeah, I think perhaps didn't come the way they were expecting from such a long-range shot, but definitely not, definitely deserving of a goal, and I think it's going to prove to make the game a little bit more interesting and a little bit pick up the pace a little bit as the last minutes approach.
Well, this free kick, Sarah Crittenden's behind it, and she may have just seen what's happened and think, well, even though I'm 35 metres out here, I might smash this towards goal.
Similar spot to the first half, and if she's
here is Crittenden,
got an eye for goal, then
fires it in, and O'Brien, that's much better from the keeper. She'll be livid with herself for what just happened a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, she's very tough on herself, and she won't be happy with it, but I know she'll try and make amends, and she was safe hands just then.
And isn't it unfortunate for goalkeepers? If anybody else makes a mistake on the field, it doesn't usually result in a goal. If you make one as a goalkeeper, that's why it's such a tough position to play, and that's why mentally you have to be very strong to be in there.
Yeah, it's the individual position in a team sport, and the mental side of it is probably the biggest side for a goalie, and they've got to make sure they keep positive throughout the game, even if they have made a mistake that costs a goal. And we need them to save the game sometimes.
And she was firmly behind that last one. That was McLaughlin trying to flick that one in. Probably what she wanted straight afterwards is something similar that she can just grip hold of and go, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
It's okay now.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same, as any player. If they make a mistake, their next tackle or their next pass, they want to be able to complete. So she'll be looking to make amends for that.
But it's made a game of it for us, and for everybody watching at home on this Mother's Day. Here's Fields. Conroy the scorer. It's been very solid since she came in, and that's another hefty ball forward, and it's got Gaia in behind Jamison, if only briefly. The defender's gone back, the Olympic captain, to hold her up. Crossing opportunity perhaps by Rapp into the area. Dawson wins the header, picked up by Mackenzie, who slips. Ryan. Rapp wins this one, and then she gives it away to Field. Olympic need to settle, and that's a good ball from Field. Now here's McLaughlin. Now she's got a runner inside her, who's Ryan. She's looked for her, and here is Vanessa Ryan, but Conroy's back to challenge, and the corner for Canberra Olympic will give them a little bit of defensive respite.
Yeah, it was a great little play forward, a win from Dawson, great defensive header, because Mackenzie was on that far post ready to pounce, but resulted in a corner for Olympic, so good outcome.
Doubt there being too much of a hurry to take this. Vanessa Ryan is jogging across to get the ball, and I doubt they'll send too many players forward. Just having a consultation in the middle of the park as to who's going to go into the penalty area. Rojan is in there, and McLaughlin obviously, and Basser-Silk and Field on the edge, and a late run perhaps from Fauna to the front post. But it's gone deeper than that, and the keeper's half fumbled at it. Here's McLaughlin, and she's got her lines wrong there. It fell for her, but it came a little bit too quickly, and she scuffed it wide. Yeah,
it would have been nice to see maybe the Olympic players continue their run into where that ball landed. As obviously the keeper missed the ball, but another missed chance that Meg would have wished she had back.
You can see she's been out for a while, can't you? She's just a little bit not quite up to speed with the half chances that normally she bags. Yeah,
obviously she's been battling injuries for a lot of her career, and again had to finish the season last year early, And it's great to see her back out there, and she's getting her feet, and I think come end of the season she'll be back in fine form.
Olympic looking to settle his field. Good run, finds Fauna. Bit of space for Fauna. Can she pick a cross out? Gets onto that right foot, swings it in there, and defensively Palama clears. And McGlashan completes the clearance up towards halfway.
Yeah, good little bit of footwork from Alexi Fauna. She's only 14 years of age and has some great potential, and it's good to see her getting some minutes at a higher level against older players.
Yeah, playing Premier League football at 14.
Yeah.
It's incredible, isn't it? Here's Dawson, who's not that much older. As you said, just turned 17 last week, was it? Did you say?
Yeah, 17.
Some real young talent in this Olympic side, and they hold the advantage at the moment. They're 2-1 up here live on Bar TV Sports. But Woden getting right back into it in the second half through a goal from Conroy, their substitutes. And here's Crittenden, an earlier substitute. And Rapp, who was their third. So all three of them combining. Here's Bassa Silk. D'Amico gets rid, but only finds Field. It's difficult to stop when she starts stretching those legs, Grace Field.
Yeah, she's quite quick and nifty on the ball. Probably doesn't utilise her strength like that as much, but they've done well, Woden, to win the ball on the free kick. Yeah,
when she stretches out, she's eats up a lot of ground, doesn't she, with that leggy stride?
Yeah, and she's very good at getting that little touch just before the player gets to her, and she either gets past them or draws the foul.
There's Dawson. Ryan won't keep that in. Certainly been an entertaining game. Olympic leading it. Still plenty of time for Woden to get back into it. Rapp on the turn into the penalty area. Opportunity for Gaia on the far post. Shoots across goal, and that one was another chance for Woden Weston, and it was a great ball in from out wide by Crittenden, and Gaia couldn't convert.
Yeah, it's starting to look like one of those games for Woden that just so many missed opportunities that it just can't seem to find the back of the net. And again, it's closing into the later stages of the game, and those goals and those shots are crucial.
Well, 15 minutes to go, and Woden will feel they can still get something tangible from this. Gaia.
She's been all over the park today, Gaia, and really testing out that right flank as well in the midfield, and continuously still going, and looks to pick up a bit of a niggle now, actually.
Field finds McLaughlin. Scuffed it the first time, probably fortunately, because I think Fauna would have been offside. Here's McGlashan, who's been tireless as well. You can see why she scored plenty of goals this season. Putting in the work rate, getting physically involved. Into the air looking for Crittenden. He'll just prods it away. And would you be concerned that even though McLaughlin's had that left foot drive and a half chance which he scuffed wide, Olympic haven't created much this half?
Yeah, I think maybe they're finding that 2-0 dangerous scoreline was a bit too comfortable for them, and they're not looking to punish as much, more protect the lead, and they're a bit isolated up top.
Well, can they break here? Field was trying to force it wide to Ryan, but Woden Weston have the ball back again, and Plummer, right-footed, sends it down into the channel where McGlashan has chased with Jamison all day long. Jamison wins that duel on that occasion, and Rojan helps it away, and Fauna can send it forward towards Field. Good defending from D'Amico. Tried to get close as they can to the Olympic midfield. We're going to see another change here, I think, shortly for Canberra Olympic.
Yeah, they're bringing on young Nikki, who I don't think was in the subs lineup to start with, but she's another young player from the reserves who's very good at her feet and composed, and they've moved Grace Bassa-Silk into the back line maybe to secure things up a little bit and protect that lead.
We'll try and find out what's going on there, because we had Kirsten Hurt down as 99. There's Dawson playing that one away. Canberra Olympic will take the throw in. 15 minutes or so to go. I think it's a goal kick, in fact. tucked away in the corner there.
Yeah, you can see Woden getting a bit desperate, trying to get the ball back as quick as they can. Don't want to waste any minutes. Olympic are happy to wait and waste those minutes away.
Chase is on here. Mackenzie under pressure from Dawson. Looking to get hold of it. And Grace, what do they need to do, Weston, to get back into this in the last 10 minutes?
I think they've got to stay composed and start looking to really bring that ball into the box and get some clean finishes on goal. And hopefully that way they get back into the game 2-2 and make it a tight contest for the last 10 minutes or so.
Dave Jordan from Capital Falls just popped up to tell us that Belconnen beat Tuggies 4-0. Probably as we expected.
Yeah, I think that was shows similar results to the last time they versed them, and Belconnen is such a strong unit that can score goals and also protect goals. They're probably, I think, conceded the least amount of goals out of any of the teams this season, and again another clean sheet for them, and I think Ant and the team will be very happy.
Rojan will bring it out. Bassa Silk. Chance to break in midfield. D'Amico was there though, and covering was Gaia. Where she gets her energy from. She's been up and down and left and right.
Yeah, she's I believe a German heritage, and her dad Thomas is a very well-known coach in Canberra. I've had him throughout my young days in the under-12 SAT programs, and I'm sure she's being worked.
Chance on the far post here for Mackenzie, but that is superb from Lily Dawson. From someone who's not a natural defender to control that and calmly turn and get rid of it. D'Amico. Plummer. Conroy. Oh, she just took her eye off the ball for a second.
Yeah, unfortunate. Just those tired legs in the game, losing concentration, and I'm sure Olympic will be happy to get that cheap turnover.
Used to call that the Canberra bounce down at Canberra.
Yeah.
It just bobbled over your foot there. And you think you've got it under control. Here she is. Breaks for Rojan. Ryan will take over. Opportunity perhaps for Olympic. Vanessa Ryan fires it to the far post. McLaughlin comes in. Kills it. Pulls it back for Fauna. Can she finish it off? She can't. Skewed her shot somewhat. And Conroy, I think they'd already gone out of play, so it's a goal kick.
Yeah, it was actually a great play from two of the youngsters. There are substitutes that have come on, and a great cross from Vanessa Ryan. Maybe a little bit less venom, and Meg might have been able to have that as a shot rather than a pass. But again, that's those dangerous things that Olympic possess that could kill off the game for Woden.
Mackenzie looking for the run. Good foot in by Bassa Silk, who's gone into a more defensive position.
Yeah, important touch. Otherwise, Woden were through on goal then, and could have well been 2-2.
Here is Bassa Silk. Sweeping it wide to Jamison. Under pressure from Gaia. Ball forward, looking for the runner. And across went Plummer once more. Just toe end it away from McLaughlin.
Exactly.
She's been a shadow the whole game.
Body shoulder to shoulder, making sure she doesn't get in behind with her physicality, and she's been doing a brilliant job on McLaughlin. Who
will be flagged offside here as we enter the closing stages of the match. It's been a pretty entertaining game for us here. We've seen 3 good goals. 8 minutes to go, live on Bar TV Sports. Plenty more next week in the Men's and Women's Premier League. How far away are you from a return, Grace, do you think?
Hoping to be back 8 to 10 weeks. Recovery usually for this type of surgery is 3 months. But looking good, no complications as of yet, so hopefully a couple of weeks earlier, and be back for the last couple of games, and if all goes well, for the finals as well.
Well, it's looking good for Olympic at the moment to move into that top 4. McLaughlin is going to swing this one towards the edge of the penalty area. Hill helps it back. And that's cleared out for throw-in. Unless Ryan can keep it in, which he does. Pulls it back to Fauna. Dawson. Goes back to Bassa Silk. McLaughlin. Broke loose and McGlashan's back there, and Nikki Bailey gets stuck in.
Put her hand up a little bit too early there, assuming the ball had gone out. But
Premature.
But it was, good closing down and good work rate from the youngster.
Switch to this near side to Dawson, and she clips it over the top, and Ryan almost got in there. It was a good header defensively by Nankaro. Ryan chips it all into the penalty area. Thing about Nikki Bailey, you can't really miss her, can you?
No, it's a signature throw, and the little nickname that people call her usually is David Louise. I know she's at school futsal. That's been a name referred to, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah, the Louise hairstyle, the Chelsea and Brazilian player, or former. Is he still at Chelsea? I think he might be, isn't he?
Yes, still at Chelsea. He's been out injured this season, and then limited to the bench because of the performing Christensen. So
you sound like a Chelsea fan, Grace.
I am a little bit of a Chelsea fan. Not the best season for us, but no, the blue through and through. So it's
got the cup final next week to look forward to.
Yes, that's very true. Hopefully we'll bring
where you'll lose to Manchester United.
Oh, so it looks like you're a bit of a Manchester United fan.
We won't go down that path. We'll start. Otherwise we'll start arguing.
Yeah, that's very true.
Here come Woden with Crittenden. 2-1. Time running out. Field wins the tackle, and she'll bring it forward. Looking for a run ahead of her, and it's a good run, and Bailey's going to get onto this. She got a touch to it, but Plummer came across, and possibly alongside Hill been the standout defenders on the park today.
Yeah, definitely. I think they've both done their respective roles really well and limited the strikers to have clear shots on goal.
Ryan looks for the free kick and gets it. A little nudge defensively there. Nathan Shakespeare just explaining why he's pulled the game up, and he'll be a free kick to Canberra Olympic.
Yeah, Meg might fancy herself on the left-footer shot here, swing it in, but I'm sure Sally Rojan will be eager to get a head or a nick on the back post.
Well, McLaughlin will probably drop this into the danger, as you say. Rojan's run into the box. Ryan's in there as well. Here is McLaughlin, swings it to the near post, and G collects comfortably. She's not had a lot to do this half, Natalie G.
No, that's true.
Oh, sorry, Harriet G, I should say.
She's just goes to show the Woden Weston how well they've done up front in limiting Olympic to any clear chances, and to their credit, have kept the ball the majority of the game in the opponent's attacking half.
3 minutes or so to go. Dawson to take the throw, just right in front of the commentary position, looking for a run of Ryan. Back towards Dawson, and Crittenden bundles her over and then plays a beautiful ball forward, looking for McGlashan, who stabs it wide to Gaia. The flag stays down, even though Jamison was appealing. Gaia at the second attempt hooks it towards goal, but Fields back to win it.
Yeah, Woden found themselves in acres of space and just weren't able to utilise it, and Olympic have done well to recover, and again are on the attack.
Ryan. Conroy faces her up, shows her the outside, and Vanessa Ryan says, thanks very much, I'll take that. Looks to stretch her legs, but Conroy's back there defensively.
That's fine, Olympic won't mind that. They'll take their time, take this throw-in, and as we're approaching the last couple of minutes of the game, and tired legs, they'll take their time with this one.
Well, Selena Gaia has run herself into the ground, and that'll be the end of her afternoon. She'll get the last couple of minutes off. Can't see the number, but I'm going to assume that's Geraldine Longo, because they don't have anybody else named on their match card that they gave us. Here's Bassa Silk. Good challenge by Rapp. Woden have the throw. Can they find an equaliser in these final couple of minutes? It's a long throw forward from Conroy. Comes back towards her though, and Ryan's in front. Conroy wins it. Dawson finds field. Bailey's ahead of her. She picks the pass to Ryan. Clips it into the penalty. That one's problems for a moment. I thought it may dip over the head of G, but she had it covered.
Yeah, it was hard to tell from this angle. It appeared that it might have just slipped in under the crossbar, but the goalie's done well to have that covered.
Nancaro battling away. In fact, sorry, that's Longo who's just come on. And there's a chase on here, but Hill has too much pace. And O'Brien just sends that one away for a throw-in. When Weston pressing for an equaliser into the final minute of the match. Ball's hooked forward. Bailey can't get under it, but it'll be a throw-in to Olympic, and I'm sure they'll jog across and take their time here.
Yeah, you can really see the legs are starting to tire in both teams, and at the moment, the way it looks, Olympic are seeming to hold Woden out, and they're going to really have to need that push from those fresh legs if they're going to find an equaliser.
Well, here's a chance for Mackenzie, perhaps. Looking to run across and defensively again. That was Bassa Silk clearing. Her goal could be the winner at the moment. It's 2-1 into stoppage time. Sun has completely gone down. The shadows across the field now. It's got quite cold again here. Bailey looks for McLaughlin. Plummer heads it forward. McGlashan, foot in. It might come from Mackenzie. Will she line one up from distance? She does, and she drives one, and it dipped as well, and it struck the rugby union part of the crossbar.
Yeah, that one always going over, but she's got a great technique and can put a lot of power behind it, and I'm sure she keeps those ones down. She's going to start finding the back of the net a lot more often.
Kudos for having the audacity of a pop from that distance. She's seen a couple go in like that today. Here's Mackenzie, who did fire that shot, and Dawson's back with her. Been impressive defensively again, Dawson. And here's a chance for Ryan to get away. Jamila Miller-Carlton's with her. Bailey, back again. Bailey slides it to Ryan. Conroy facing her up. Caught in two minds here, I think, Ryan, whether to go to the corner or try and deliver the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she is going to be fully aware of the tactics she was kind of pulling out there in the time wasting, but, completely within the rules, and Canberra Olympic won't mind if the ball's down in Woden's corner.
Conroy's throw-in, only finds Rojan. Looks for McLaughlin, and G has that covered. And she sends it forward as quick as she can, because she knows the time is running out. The bounce is all the way through, and Sandra Hill is just going to see this out to Dawson. His touch was a little heavy. Stayed in play, though. Crittenden's there. Good challenge field. Breaks her for Rapp. Swings it forward. D'Amico's touch. Chases on for Longo. But O'Brien got there ahead. She'll try and get this as far away from her goal as she possibly can at this stage. And Nancaro will take the throw. Have Woden got something left in this stoppage time period to try and steal a draw, which, on the basis of their second half performance, they possibly deserve? Field to McLaughlin. Field again. Look to exchange passes with McLaughlin, and this will do for Olympic.
Yeah, they'll be happy to just take their time, move it up and down the sideline. You can see Grace and Meg trying to link up there, but not too fussed that it wasn't coming off.
McLaughlin holds it up, then gives it away, and Rapp's ball, and McGlashan was offside, and she's walked her way back to being on. She'll put the pressure on Jamison, who will get rid of it. And Nathan Shakespeare brings us to a full-time conclusion, and luckily for the betting experts out there, it didn't finish 3-1, Grace, but you got a smile on your face because that's 3 points for Canberra Olympic that are pretty important.
Yeah, definitely. We've had a run of a couple of losses, and I think it's really important now heading into the middle of the season to pick up those 3 points for finals contention, and I'll be looking forward to playing Woden next time I'm back on the park.
Well, next week you have Tuggeranong United at home. Woden Weston will look to bounce back with a game against the Canberra United Academy. again. I think that's right, yep. So they play the Academy once more. But today, they showed enough out there to perhaps come away with a point in the second half when Olympic looked quite tentative after the break.
Yeah, definitely. I think on any given day, if they play like that and their chances that they had come off, they could walk away winners. But like you've seen today, a bit of experience through Canberra Olympic finishing their chances sees them walk away 2-1 winners.
Well, thanks very much for your company. You enjoyed it, and it's been a good match here. Olympic did the damage in the first half, 2 goals in the first 45 minutes. The first from Sally Rojan, smashing one into the net after 10 minutes. The second, 6 minutes before half-time, Grace Bassas-Silk's goal, poaching to put it 2-0 to Olympic. And Kat Conroy pulled one back for Woden Weston with just 20 minutes to play with a thumping drive from distance. But in the end, Olympic, despite pressure from the Wanderers, have held on. And at O'Connor enclosed, it's finished Canberra Olympic 2, Woden Weston 1.